no, there's nothing to back it. I've never said anything like this before, but I'm just going to say it. Okay.
Okay.
Are you watching this? Are you watching? Yeah. Are you watching this? No. You need to get with it. Are you watching this? We on a TV shit. Are you watching this? You don't wanna miss. Are you watching this? Stop canceling our shit.
Welcome to the Are You Watching This podcast, the podcast where we talk about TV shows you should be watching. My name is Ellen.
And I am Chelsea.
And what have you been watching this week, Chelsea?
I mean, honestly, I really have just been watching ER.
I've been seeing your tweets.
Because also, it's mainly because of the time frame, right? So we record this on Tuesday. It's April 22nd. Tonight is when Andor comes out. Thursday is when You comes out. So those are like my next big watchings. So we're just not there yet. So I've just, been cranking away at that ER.
Yeah, that's good. What season are you up to?
About halfway through season 3.
Okay. Damn. Okay.
Yeah. I really have probably watched about 50% of it, if I'm honest. It's a lot of like on the computer, doing the dishes, cleaning. I was even like laying out in the sun watching it. So I couldn't even like really see it.
Yeah.
I will say, at this point, I think I'm committed enough that I'm going to finish it. I'm gonna do it. I'm not as emotionally attached to the characters like I was with Shameless by this point in the series.
Yeah.
I think because the way the episodes are, you have all these new characters each episode. They're like a lot of turnover. And so I know I'm not quite there. Yeah.
But like the main doctors remain the same? Or also there's a lot of turnover for that?
There's kind of a lot of turnover for that too, because they get new interns in and they have doctors leave. There are the core doctors, but one of them's already left.
Yeah.
So I will say I'm very much starting to understand the cultural impact that ER had.
Okay.
And why it was on for so long. In season 3, halfway through, we have Kirsten Dunst in multiple episodes. She's like in 4 or 5. And then Ewan McGregor, he's in the episode I'm currently watching. I think he'll just be in this one because he's a robber, but
okay. What? That's actually really cool.
Yeah, so I can see the impact that it had on
bringing
us
in
at the
like
time.
new actors and stuff. Also, that's like one of the really cool things about watching an old show is seeing the guest stars and them having a bigger name now, and just having a bigger filmography to their name now too, or TVography. And you're always like, oh, that's where you started. I think that's just really cool.
Yeah, and the other thing too is like with The Pit and these other medical drama shows, they bring up a lot of like cultural aspects, especially like working in a hospital or like healthcare, insurance. HIV is like a really big one because you have to think the 1995, 1996 is when we kind of had that big medical improvement or revolution for AIDS. And so they're really touching on all that stuff, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's actually, that's also really cool. Yeah. Nice. So just the ER.
Well, and then I did watch Last of Us.
Okay.
The first 2 episodes.
Okay. The second one came out this past week, right? Like this Sunday.
Yes. Yeah. Have you watched it all yet?
I have not, but I did see what happened this last Sunday. And is that a spoiler? Like, you know what I mean?
It shouldn't be because it's based off of the video game. We all should have known that it was coming.
Yeah.
I did not think it was going to happen that soon.
Yeah, I was taken aback when I saw. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
I didn't like it. I did not like it.
Like the way they executed it?
It was just really sad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But they made it good. Like, it was good that it was that well done sad? Or it was just like, no, why did you get this? No, you could have done this later.
No, it did make sense. I get it. it was very frustrating, though, the reason that it happened.
Okay. Okay. I get you.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Avoidable maybe, or unnecessary maybe
n-
avoid.
uh, it
Okay. I feel like you don't
was
want to
it
ruin
w-
it.
no, for like the storyline or for like the character development, it was not unnecessary or avoidable. I
Mhm.
get why that like why it was done the way that it was. The people who did it, that felt
Mhm.
unnecessary. It felt very stupid on their part, but
Okay.
that's just my
Yeah.
personal opinion.
No, I get it. And I can't
Hmm.
actually wait to watch. I'm trying to tell myself I'm waiting for like maybe 5 episodes to binge it, but I might just start. I don't know. Are you liking it so far? The first
Y-
episodes?
yes, just remember how the first season. Well, I'm assuming my heart was so pounding and I was so stressed every single episode, and it is exactly the same way.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a very highly stress inducing show. So yeah, I get it.
Do you think, I was actually thinking about this yesterday when I was watching it. Do you think it could be um, maybe either healthy or unhealthy the way that we watch or engage with this media that like gets our nervous system all riled up, which is
Yeah.
in a situation where it shouldn't be?
Yeah. I'm leaning towards, I don't think healthy is the right word, but I don't think it's not healthy.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know? What do you
I,
think?
well, I think because I sometimes get the same feeling when I have to make a phone call or send an email or like little things like that, right? And so
Yeah.
maybe it's good that I'm associating that feeling though with like watching somebody die
Yeah.
instead
Like,
of
yeah, like a
just
real
basic.
stress inducing thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is that like meme or something where it says like why is my what's it nervous system going up from answering an email or something when it
Hmm.
should be, yeah, because we aren't. I feel like our bodies have had to adapt to society how it is now, and we're not in the caveman days of, yeah, being
Better.
faced with a, I don't know, an animal attacking us or something, and that's when we're induced. So that's why I think it is healthy.
That's that's what I'm thinking too. I just yeah, I think so more. Yeah, because they're yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
get you.
honest what I'm telling myself.
What I do love is when a show makes me cry. I really do love that.
Yes.
Very weak, yes. Expand.
I'm trying. Well, I'm just like I haven't said anything else that's less personal or uh, unnecessary. I, for the longest time, just like couldn't cry, right? Just like was like I would
Oh.
see something on TV and I'd be like, that's so sad. But I just couldn't drum up those feelings. Got on a
Yeah.
good antidepressant for about a year. So now I cry a lot. And so it is kind of cathartic, but then sometimes I'm like, why are we just crying all the time now?
That's funny. I mean, yeah, I get that from going from never to just like eyes leaking all the time.
Yes. Yeah.
It can get exhausting. And yeah, crying can get exhausting. But
I on the last episode of Temptation Island, I
mhm.
cried.
Okay. See, that's what you should have said before, because now I'm going to watch Temptation Island. I need to find out why you cried. Can you explain it without spoiling it?
There's a very sweet ending for two of
Okay.
the or one of the couples, two of the people,
Hmm.
and yeah, I think it'll make you a little teary eyed too.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to clock in. Now I've got to. Yeah.
Which okay, what have you been watching this past week?
Okay, so I know we talked about Your Friends and Neighbors last week with John Hamm, Apple TV Plus. We both had strong opinions of disliking it. I went back to watch it again because I said I didn't finish it, so I started from
Oh,
the
that's yeah,
beginning.
that's right.
Hmm. I think there's 3 episodes out now, and I was like, well, maybe we were like too strong, because I was like, maybe I walked away from like last week's recording being like, damn, that was a lot of hate. um and it was such a good cast and whatever. So I watched it, and it's I think what for me, I don't like John Hamm's voiceover on it.
Okay. That's what is doing it for you?
Yeah, that's what's ruining it for me. Because also his
Okay.
voice is pretty monotone.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I don't, maybe his character, they're trying to make it seem like his character has depth, but there's not really depth. And
Yes.
yeah. And I don't know if we mentioned this last week, but it got renewed for season 2 before it even came out.
I don't think we did talk about that.
So I was like, damn, how did this already get? And that's also why I went back to fully concentrate and watch it. But it's not terrible. I just don't, as we said last week, it's just not necessary. There's nothing new, nothing fresh. And again, the depth of the characters aren't really enlightening in any way. And I really think they could do without that voiceover from John Hamm, like doing the storytelling.
Did you watch all 3 episodes that are out so far? Or
Yeah.
okay.
All 3.
Did the story pick up at all by the 3rd episode? Or is it it's following the same path?
It's following the same path. It looks like this Friday's episode is gonna this week's episode is gonna be picking up from what the previews were, but it's kind of the same. Yeah. Nothing really to write home about. But also I feel like we really shat on it last week and I don't think it's that terrible.
I'm gonna watch probably episode 3 to kind of round out my opinion, and I haven't done that yet. But I don't know if I'm gonna change it. But I'll watch episode 3.
Okay. And I would not blame you if you did not change it. Your opinion, that is. Yeah. And then I also did see, and this could probably go into the press release, but we are talking about the show, that James Marsden got cast in season 2. And
well,
like,
now damn it.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I also went back and watched it. I was like, well, damn. How are they getting these people to sign on for this show? I don't know.
There's no way he watched it before or like read the script. He was just like, oh, Apple TV show renewed already? Yeah, I'll do it.
I mean, that's funny. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I would like to think James Marsden is picky, but no, I could see that.
No, he was in Sonic 2 or whatever.
Yeah, fair enough. How horrible. But yeah, that is a little news that came out this past week that he will be a part of the cast next season. So,
have you been watching anything else?
Yes, I watched Black Mirror, the new season. I think it's the same as everyone's been saying on the internet. I feel like life as it is, like society as it is right now, is upside down, batshit. We are living in the Twilight Zone, so the episodes aren't hitting as hard as they were when it first came out. I also think another big complaint people have is that when Netflix it was a BBC show, UK show, and that was more gritty, and they brought in newer faces and stuff like that. And now when it was a Netflix show, they bring in well-known faces, and it's cool, like Issa Rae and Tracy Eli Ross is in it and stuff like that. And there are some great performances. I think the Issa Rae with Emma Corrin episode. Emma Corrin is incredible. Issa Rae, I love her so much, but no. There are some noteworthy performances throughout it. Even Paul Giamatti's episode is pretty good, but that episode made me think he is typecast a lot. Actually,
okay. Like what kind of? You mean?
Like he plays this like not down on his luck, but kind of like a pity me. I'm not the best looking. I'm a bit grumpy, kind of, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the character he played on his episode for this season of Black Mirror. But yeah, I watched it. It took energy to finish it, so if you don't watch it, you're really not missing out on anything. There wasn't like a cool concept where you'd be like, holy shit, what if that happened? You pretty much watch it now being like, yeah, that's probably gonna happen.
You're like, or like, ooh, that kind of already did happen a little bit,
right? Yeah. Yeah. Which is very sick, but hey. Yeah, so that, and then I did watch other shows, but I want to talk about them next week.
Okay.
All right. I did like 2 episodes, It was I'll mention one, Government Cheese, that we talked about.
Okay, yeah, I want to check that one out too.
Yeah. I watched the first episode and like half of the second, but I really want to sit down and watch all the episodes that are out right now.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
But yeah, that was about it for me.
You know, it was like we're kind of in this transition week of a bunch of new stuff about to start back up, start back up, and then stuff ending. So it's been a little
Yeah.
slow.
Yeah, exactly. And also like we have a couple of shows that are currently on episodic releases. I feel like they're redundant to talk about. They are what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been watching The Studio and I'm loving it. I'm definitely loving it. But
Yeah.
we've already sung its praises and people should just continue to watch it or start watching it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, well, do you have nominations for this week?
I
for
do.
consideration?
I've decided that I'm going to nominate Edie Patterson for Best Supporting Actress in Righteous Gemstones. She plays Judy
Okay.
Gemstone. And part of the reason I'm choosing this is because she hasn't been nominated for an Emmy. And the character that she plays is so outrageous. It's kind of hard to throw her in that category if, like, let's say I nominate Jean Smart as well, because these are just two wildly different performances.
Yeah.
And hers seems so outlandish and crazy. It feels kind of weird to throw it in that group as well, but she deserves it because this character that she has developed is amazing.
Oh, I love that. Oh, okay. Nice. And would she be a best supporting? Yeah.
I think so. What about you?
I want to nominate, and I didn't do my research, but I'm just going back to filling in the slots because there's really nothing new that blew my mind. I want to nominate Matlock. I don't think I did nominate that before for drama, best drama. And I
don't think so.
I don't think so either. But that's just me throwing that in there. But I feel like best drama has heavy competition this year.
Yes, but people are talking about it. People really like it. So I think there's room for it for sure.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. And then I've been seeing like they really are doing the what's it called promotions for the nominations now in Hollywood, and I've been seeing the panels, and Matlock is steady in there. So
that's good.
Yeah,
I definitely think they'll get nominated, and probably Kathy Bates.
Yeah. Maybe I'm trying to think. Can I change my nomination? Can I do Kathy Bates instead of Matt? I really don't think they'll have a shoe-in for best drama. I just think there's a lot.
I don't know. Definitely not a shoe-in. I could see a nomination, but I will put it as Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates. Yeah, I'd rather her. Okay, I'd rather her.
I think that's also probably more likely.
Yeah, I agree.
And I guess she's just best actress because she's the main character.
Yeah, she is. I
get kind of confused. Huh?
I was just going to say, look at us adding more women into our...
That is a little intentional now that it came to my attention. What was I going to say? Something about... I don't remember.
Okay. That's it? That you had?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then let's talk about our topic this week. Last week we did TV, what's it called? Opening music?
Theme songs. Yeah.
Theme songs. And then this week I wrote TV title cards / opening sequence.
I didn't know what to call it. I was like trying to Google. I was like, Friends intro, and it kept coming with a song. I was like, no, but like the thing that they filmed that they show. And they're like title sequence. I was like, got it, cool.
Yeah. I felt like I was like putting words that were redundant. I was like, is it that? Yeah. But finally got there. And there were a couple of really good articles. Like people had actually written about it.
Yeah, I don't know. The one that I came across the most was this website called Art of the Title. Did you come across that one?
Yes, I did.
And it's like a whole website dedicated to title sequences.
Yeah. I did. Now, my review is not going to be as, oh, well, my whatever's not going to be as extensive, but it's a little brushstroke of what it is so everybody gets informed. But,
Mhm.
you know. Okay, so definition, as according to me, a TV title card or opening sequence has to convey in a very short amount of time the mood of the show you're about to watch and set the tone of like the said universe of that show for the next like whatever that length of the show is. Background, they said that TV title cards first originated in silent films to like signal the start of the movie, and then they did it when TV shows came about. And then, but in the opening credits of TV shows in the beginning, they used it more so as a platform for sponsors to like products placement. Because I didn't know this, but it actually does run into the runtime of a TV show. Did you know that?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, but I never really thought about it.
Yeah. Like, so like half hour comedies, it's up to you. Like, a creator of the show can make that title sequence 2 minutes long if they want to, but that means like their episode will be shorter, kind of situation.
Do you
I
think
don't.
that's why the Big Bang Theory intro is like 5 minutes long?
Probably.
So instead of making a 22-minute episode, then what? They only have to make 22 minus, if I say 5 minutes, right? So then
Yeah,
we're
right.
at 17 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much of just whatever lame jokes they can come up with.
One day when we have enough listeners, there's going to be people like on the YouTube comments just shit talking us. They'd be like, they don't even know what they're talking about. How can we listen to them?
Right. They don't know good TV. Sure. We don't. If it's the Big Bang Theory that's gonna take us out, I'm for it. I will die on that hill quite literally.
Okay. All right. I'll support you.
Thank you. Okay. So as we have mentioned in our other episodes when we're talking about TV history and all that, in the 60s, that's when TV shows, well, that's when TV came into a lot of households. And because of that, that's when television shows then started to change up their title sequences and stuff. And that meant programs were trying to find ways to stand out more, like from other TV shows. And that's when credit sequences, title sequences became more extravagant. The websites I found credited Twin Peaks a lot in the early
Okay.
90s.
Yeah. Yeah, that was very dramatic. That was a very
Yes.
dramatic intro.
Yes, and apparently very long. It was timed to be 1.5 minutes.
Dang.
Yeah, apparently one of the longest ones.
So in the intro of Twin Peaks, there is a shot of the mantle, and it has Laura Palmer's like, I guess, senior photo, and she has like her hair up, and it's a very classic photo that goes around. For one of my friends for his birthday, I just printed that photo off and like framed it, and so he like put it in his apartment, and somebody's like, "Oh, is that your girlfriend?"
Follow-up question: did he like Twin Peaks, or did they like Twin Peaks?
We had watched it together, and so
Okay.
it was like a little inside joke.
Yeah, that's funny. Is that your girlfriend? And then also like other shows. Did you ever watch My So-Called Life?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently that was like 1 minute and 10 seconds. So it was pretty
Okay.
lengthy. Yeah. And then they said that cable TV channels were to blame for the lengthier TV title sequences, and also more so because they didn't have ad breaks, so they could truly play around with that time. But then the network TV shows tried to compete and try to make things as extravagant as they did. Then in 2003, Lost premiered, and it ushered in a whole new like wave of TV sequences, title sequences, and they just did a title card.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that was just a 15-second intro of just the word lost. And that show is credited for then a wave of TV shows just doing shorter title sequences. And I was like, oh, I remember that. Like they mentioned Heroes being another that did it without opening credits. They mentioned others, but they're lying.
Like
They
what?
said One Tree Hill, and One Tree Hill has a whole Gavin
I don't
DeGraw.
want to be
Exactly.
anything other than I can't believe we didn't talk about that last week. Dang.
That's so true. Dang, I'm so disappointed. I love One Tree Hill so much. I'm a fake fan.
Again, this podcast is going to go on for years. It'll come back up. We'll revisit
Okay.
it, I'm sure, at some point.
Okay, I will. Yeah, we'll right our wrongs. Okay.
I did, because I was thinking about that. I was like, oh, there are shows, because I was just trying to go through my head that I love, but like Girls, they have the title card. And that always just sticks in my head because the colors are different every time.
Yeah.
And then it reminded me of Barry, because Barry didn't even have, like, they had a title card, but remember they would hide it?
Yeah.
And so with Atlanta, they would like hide it. So you had
to. Yes.
you'd have to look for it. And I thought that was so clever.
Yeah, it was like within the scene of like it already starting.
Yep.
That's true. Now you're making me think, did any other TV show do it that way? Like
Atlanta did, and then there was another show. I can't think of it right now, but yeah. But that's kind of like a newer, unique, fun thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So then in 2006, because that's around the time Lost and all these other like a newer age of TV came about, only about 10% of shows used a theme song or a credit sequence to set up the, like in the beginning. And I was like, dang, that's actually a low amount of like, yeah, TV shows. If like, and out of all the TV in the all of TV world of 10% were only doing like a title card. That's kind of insane.
Do you think that I can see why people wouldn't want to do an intro? Because I think based on what I was seeing, they hire companies to do it, or it costs a lot of money and effort to do those.
Yeah.
So I understand why people don't do it, but then if you think like if you have a great one that sticks in people's head,
yeah, that's
worth the money, right?
Exactly. It's like even better branding for the show. You know what I mean? Like it again, it's like that world that you just introduce, you set the scene for the audience for the first 30 seconds or 60 seconds or whatever. I don't know. I kept going back and forth too, but we can talk about that at the end about which one is better or which ones do better. And I also did come across a list that Entertainment Weekly made last year for like the best title TV sequence opening sequence scenes, and I wrote down the top 10, and I'll want to go through them with you and have your thoughts. Okay, so 10% of shows in the 2000s only had only had theme songs and a credit sequence, but it still remained like the long lengthy title sequence still remained for cable TV shows because again I feel like they had the time and also the money. They had a bigger budget, so why not? Let's see. Okay, so basically now we're gonna jump right into the now. Opening credit sequences are like we've gone back to them being more lengthier and more creative, more artsy, and also more truly not setting the scene, but having little Easter eggs of the upcoming season within them. They credited, what did they credit? Game of Thrones. They credited, I mean, what's the show Severance. I had to. They credited Orange is the New Black. Just a couple.
Ozark was a really big one too.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. God, I forgot about Ozark. Yeah. And yeah, now they're saying that we're in the age of a more creative approach to title sequences. Do you have anything to add?
No, that's kind of, I didn't do any research on like the history of it like that. But when I was
Mm.
thinking about it, that's exactly kind of how I was thinking about it, how we've kind of went away from it for a little bit. It seems like there's a resurgence of
Of that.
of that. And I think people talk about it. I mean, we talked about the
Yeah.
Severance intro multiple times.
Yeah. Yeah. I I don't know. I do I think I don't know. It's fun. I like it. I do like them. I think it's creative. I think it's cool. I think it's necessary for some TV shows. I can see how other TV shows get away with it, but yeah, I like the
Without
whole
one,
thing.
or just
Yeah,
with just a title card.
just the title card. Yeah, you can see it. And even like Severance, they did like have one episode of just the title card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think you can get away with that too if you switch back and forth. Um, they did say that the Game of Thrones, for the research I did, they had 35 people come up with that. Like a team of 35 people come up with their opening credit scene, and that's the most people in an open credit scene that's ever, what's it called, like take part in creating one.
Hmm.
That's like a fun fact, they said. And then it took 3 months for them to work on.
Yeah, I guess because I mean, that makes sense because it is one really long, it is
Yeah.
very complex. And we talked about this last week. It really changed the way, oh gosh, um, TV shows started doing intros.
Yeah,
I think
did.
it's kind of one of the ones that brought it back of being
Yes, yeah.
important.
Yeah, I agree. Fully agree. But yeah, it was pretty short and sweet. I was like, oh, okay. I like that. Um, and that is why I wanted to talk about the EW Best TV Show list, like Best TV Open Title Credit Sequence list that they released on September 2024. Okay, the first one, The Simpsons, and I can't believe we
I'm
didn't talk about that.
I made my list, and
Oh,
I that's the first one that's on there.
hey, okay,
Yeah.
we can do this. Let's compare with your. How many do you have on your list?
Let's see. I kind of gave up halfway through, but 1, 2, 3, like 5 or 6. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Of just like ones
Well,
that popped up in my head, and then I looked them up, and they had some like fun facts, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna like write these down.
yeah. Did you have fun facts about The Simpsons?
Mainly that when I was thinking about these two, I was trying to think about ones that either like are always the same. They say the same from like season 1 to the last, or if they've changed. And The Simpsons is an example of how it's different each episode.
Yeah.
And so I just wrote down what they were saying are the 3 things that change every episode
Okay.
in the intro. So one of them is that Bart writes a different phrase on the chalkboard. I think that's the
Yes.
most memorable one.
Yes.
Lisa plays a different solo on her saxophone. I did not know that.
I didn't
I thought it was the same
either.
every time.
Whoa. Okay.
And it says sometimes a different instrument. I also didn't know that.
Neither.
And then the different visual gags accompanying the family when they get on the couch at the very end.
Okay.
Like
That I think
sometimes
I
it's
did
in different
notice.
style. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that one's a little
Yeah.
bit more noticeable.
Yeah. I think maybe I just thought they repeated some, but it was like different every time. You know what I mean? Like there was a common switch, but anyway, that's interesting. Okay, number 2, they had Game of Thrones,
Okay.
which I can see. I thought it was a bit early, but I can see. It's all right. We'll give it. Um did you have Game of Thrones on your list?
No, I mainly because I was like, I know she's gonna bring it up, and so I was
Okay.
like, I knew
Okay.
that had to be talked about.
Yeah, fair. Number 3, they had Westworld.
Okay, I didn't watch that show, so
I didn't either. And yeah, I really wanted to, but I just couldn't get into it. But
it's
did you
just
ever try?
it was too much. I watched like the first 2 episodes, and yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm usually into that kind of shit, like, the whatever world, but yeah, no.
I think down the road I might visit it, but just right now or then was not the right time.
The time, yeah. Okay. Number 4, they had All in the Family. Did you ever watch
Okay,
that?
I mean, yeah, it's one of those shows that's on TV Land all the time, plays
Yeah.
Nick at Night, those kinds of things. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 5, you'll like this. They had Mad Men.
Okay. It is. It's very, I don't know if it's like one of my favorite or the best, but it's
Yeah,
very
you don't
memorable.
seem like you agree with
I mean,
that.
it's very classic. It's very, I think it matches the show really well.
Yeah. It like
And it
sets
definitely,
the world of the show. Yeah.
and it's nice and boring like the show, but I don't think that it's like, I'm surprised it's that high on the list. Let's say that.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. Yes, especially because number 6, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is number 6.
Yeah, that has to be before Mad Men. Are you kidding me?
I agree.
And even Game of Thrones.
I was gonna say that exact same thing. I was gonna say I would even give it that number 2 spot right underneath The Simpsons.
People know that song, like
Bar for
that's
bar, they know that.
wild. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know who wrote this. Who came up with these numbers?
Somebody at the EW, you know.
They need to get some better employees.
They need to get us. Hire us. So far none of these were also on your list. Did you make a list of what you liked?
They're just ones that popped in my that
Okay.
meant something to me that I thought maybe you might not bring up, or like I found some fun facts about. So
Okay, we'll get to them. Number 7, they had Desperate Housewives, which I agree, I enjoyed it. Yeah. Number 8, Sex and the City. Yeah, I think that's iconic. I would put that above Desperate Housewives.
Yeah. Are these like what are these being qualified as? The best, the most popular? What do we?
Best.
Okay, continue.
Number 9, they had Alice, and I've never heard of the show in my life. It came out in like the 50s, I believe.
It was, I want to say you didn't look it up.
Well, I did not. No, the 70s. It was a sitcom.
I want to say, I'm gonna fact check this because I could be completely wrong. I want to say that it's a spinoff from the Brady Bunch from Alice the Maid, or vice versa. No, that's not right. It says Alice is an American sitcom television series that aired on CBS. Blah blah. It's based on director Martin Scorsese's 1974 film Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. Interesting. Okay. No, that's not what I thought it was. And no, I've never watched it then, obviously.
Ever. I haven't even heard of it.
I've heard of it, but okay. Sure.
Yeah, and that's number 9. That's top 10, so sure. And then number 10, The Sopranos.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, which I thought fair enough.
Although I don't actually know what their intro is because I've never watched it, but
I've seen it before, and that's all right. Yeah, it's all right. Sure. I haven't sat down and watched that show all the way through, and I want to do that at some point in my life. Yeah.
People keep saying that it's going to be a Soprano summer, so maybe it needs to be, once I finish ER, be a Soprano summer.
Really? That's what people are going to rewatch this summer?
Well, they're saying they're going to be like Tony Soprano being mad at the government and going to therapy, which I guess is what he does.
Apparently. That's funny. Okay, maybe I'll watch that this summer too and get mad at everything that's happening over there in that country you're in. Okay,
if you can come back.
No, for real. Listen, thank God nobody really listens to this podcast because I can't speak freely. No, I'm kidding. But I am sweating it. I've been sweating it just a little bit.
Well, Drake and I are going to Japan in July, and I'm like, if they let us over there, and we'll see if we can come back. I don't.
Yeah, it's looking very.
It's looking great.
Yeah. Okay, what's on your list?
Okay, so I had Friends, which we talked about this last week. Mainly, the reason I kept it on the list though is because it was filmed on the WB backlot, and it's a shared lot with the Gilmore Girls set. So I was telling you, like, everything is filmed on that set, and that including the Friends intro. And I decided maybe that's our first field trip together. We go out to California, do the WB backlot thing, and then maybe see if we can also go see a taping of a show out there
Oh,
too.
yes!
Yeah.
Which is so funny because I think it was this past week's episode of Hacks about like how she,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's kind of what
yeah.
made remind me of it.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I kind of want to do, yes. So, yes, I want to do that.
Okay, let's
Oh,
do that. We'll plan it.
okay.
We'll figure out the logistics.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So, Friends.
And then I had Shameless. Just because I watched it, it was in my head. It is well mapped out. And
Yeah.
so when I looked it up, though, people were really complaining because they changed the intro by season 10 after Fiona left.
Oh.
And everybody was like, they did such a sloppy job of it because they kept a lot of the original, but then changed. Like they took out Fiona and they had the younger daughter handling Frank in the bathroom, blah blah blah. So people are
Mm-hmm.
mad about it. But then
Mm-hmm.
they had a back or behind the scenes YouTube video, and they were explaining all the work that went into it because they didn't have the original set, and so they had to recreate it from scratch to match
Oh,
exactly.
wow.
And they did such an amazing job.
Yeah.
So then I was looking in, and this was one of the first ones I found of like who actually was involved with making this. And the
Yeah.
director is Erin Serofsky,
Okay.
and she created her own production company,
Okay.
and she in her studio have also done intros for Ramy, Captain America,
Ah,
Civil War, Guardians of the Galaxy, Community, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Friends from College, and a bunch of commercials as well.
damn. That's
Mhm.
a very stacked list.
Especially for the Shameless intro, because it's not
Yeah.
very action filmy.
No, it's not. It was like in the way back of my mind too. Like I wouldn't have thought of putting it on a list. So yeah, that's really, wow,
That
impressive.
was some fun facts about it.
Yeah.
I also looked into American Horror Story because their intros are very complex and they change season to season to reflect the story because it's different each season as well.
Yeah.
And the opening credits were created by Kyle Cooper and his company Prologue, and they also did the opening scenes for The Walking Dead, which
Okay.
I don't know what those are.
I see them here
And
and there.
it like with Severance and Ozark, the opening credits and the title sequences are supposed to give away, have Easter eggs or hints to what's coming up in the season. So by the end of the
Okay.
season, you understand what each of the little creepy clips they show you are.
Yeah. Okay.
And the font that they used, because it's very specific, unique font that I think people only really associate with American Horror Story now, and it's
Hmm.
called Rennie Mackintosh, which is after a Scottish artist who was influenced by Frank Lloyd Wright.
Okay. Interesting.
And this song was created by Caesar Diwali, something I don't know. He was a friend of Prologue editor and a musician, Charlie Clouser, who's also part of Nine Inch Nails, and
Okay.
it's specific for that TV show.
Nice. Okay.
And then I also
Any
have
more?
Broad City.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
So there's a production company or like a couple people that worked on the intro, but the artist who does all the kind of trippy artwork for the beginning, and his name is Mike Perry, and he
Mhm.
actually did win an Emmy. It was not for the intro, but it was for his graphic design, outstanding motion design for that mushroom episode of Broad City, the one where Abby
Yeah.
takes the mushrooms. And
Yeah.
yeah.
You can never not. If you've watched Broad City, you will never not know that episode. So yeah. Okay. That's really
And
impressive.
then the last one that I had was Ozark, and we talked about already that had the Easter eggs,
Yeah.
and which I
Okay.
knew, right? So we'd always pause it and be like, "What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean?" And then somebody on Reddit pointed out that it's the big O, right? And then it has the
Hmm.
four symbols inside.
Hmm.
It spells out Ozark, like
Every
the
time?
Yes, like the first one is a Z, and the next one's a A, and then R and a K. And I was like, I feel so stupid for never noticing that.
I have never noticed that too, ever. And I don't think you should ever feel stupid for that too. I don't think that was obvious.
Well, when you go back and they point it out, you're like, damn, those really are some letters.
But I think you were so focused of figuring out where
Yeah.
it was going to be in the show that I'm not looking at what it spells, but that is crazy. That is, I'm just trying to defend my intelligence. This is just me being defensive, you guys. What? Okay, yeah. Now I got to go back and look.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
wild.
Yeah.
But then yeah, that's it. And then the other ones that popped in my head were As Told by Ginger, but the title sequence is the same creators as this TV series, and then that 70s show, kind of the same thing. There's nothing like
Yeah.
super notable about it. It just is stuck in my head.
Yeah, it's all about Ginger's a good one. The Wild Thornberry is also a good one. I really enjoy that
Ooh,
one.
yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot about that
really
one
enjoyed that
too.
one. Okay. Well, I really like your list. I agree with all of it. I don't even think it's something to agree or disagree on.
Was there
sure.
any other ones that like really stuck out in your head when you think about?
Well, I didn't make a list. I actually went back and looked at who has won Emmys over the last 5 years for him.
Ooh, that's
And I wanted
okay.
to
Yeah.
talk about that. Okay. So I didn't know how far I just did the 2020s because
Yeah, I think that's good.
That's fresh. All right. So in 2020, I don't know if you ever heard the show. It's pretty good. Godfather of Harlem. Have you heard of it? It's on a cable TV net. It's not one of the popular ones. It's like, I think it's Star. No, I don't know. But also it's not on anymore. But they won. Oh, it's Epix. It came out on Epix.
Okay.
And it's a gangster kind of mob vibe show.
Is it set in modern times or in
No,
like the
modern.
1950s? Okay.
No, modern times. Yeah.
Okay.
Modern times. Yeah. So they won, and they were up against Watchmen and Westworld.
Okay.
And the morning show.
And so you watched that show though? What I mean, was the title sequence good?
I didn't remember it. I still don't remember it. When I saw it, I was like, okay. I mean, it is a cool show, but I really don't remember the title sequence. But I can, like, the world of the show is cool, so I can imagine that the title sequence was cool. But it didn't stick, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'm glad they won. And then 2021, I definitely don't know what the show is. It was on Showtime. It's called The Good Lord Bird. Have you ever heard of that?
I'm gonna Google it just to see, but I don't think so. The Good Lord Bird. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
It only had one season.
Yeah, it was like a mini series.
No,
Right? Guys, there's so much TV. It's actually insane when you think you've watched them all.
And it doesn't really even have anybody in it that I recognize. I don't think. Not at least off the. Oh, well, it has Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. Interesting.
And they were up against, and these are not all the nominations. I'm just pointing out the most memorable nominations that we would all know. But they were up against Lovecraft Country, which I thought they had a cool opening sequence that was on HBO. The Queen's Gambit, which I'm pretty sure won the Emmy that year, from Netflix, and WandaVision.
Okay, I don't remember WandaVision intro.
I don't either. I feel like it was just a title card. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it was more, but yeah.
Whatever.
I do remember the Queen's Gambit though.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty like extensive, and so yeah, when I saw who they were up against, I was like, damn, they beat out some good competition. So that's good for them. Then in 2022, that's when Severance won.
Oh yes, yep.
Theirs, and they were up against, let's see, Only Murders in the Building. Do you know that show on Apple TV Plus, Pachinko? Is that Asian? Okay, I want to watch it.
Okay. I've never even heard of that show.
Apparently, it's really, really good. So
Jeez
I will watch
Louise.
it. And
Sometimes
then
when you mention these things, I'm like, do I even watch TV? Like, what?
no, for real. Trust me, I watch a lot of TV too, and I feel the same way. So yeah. And then another Apple TV Plus show that they were up against was Foundation, which I still haven't watched either.
I have seen the intro because Drake was watching it. I think Severance makes sense that they won.
Yeah.
So.
Only Murders in the Building is also a pretty good intro.
It is. It's very cute. I like the music, and it very much fits the show. They tie all the characters together. So
yeah. Then in 2023, The Last of Us won.
So, but here's the thing: is their intro is so Game of Thronesy.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So to me, 100%. That's a little. I don't know. Feels a little cheating, but
I agree. Opinion. They were up against the White Lotus, which I think is mad that they beat. Yeah,
they should have won.
Yeah. Wednesday, which I have not watched.
I don't remember the intro either.
Yeah. And the Lord of the Rings TV show on Prime Video, which I have not watched, but I feel like it would be cool, or at least similar.
Yes, and the show, I don't remember the intro, but it was very visually very stunning, so I can understand why they were nominated. White Lotus. Okay, continue.
And then last year, 2024, Shogun won, and I can't believe we did not mention. I don't know if you ever watched Shogun. Did you watch it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and I can't believe I did not mention it. So I'm glad I looked this up when I
don't remember the intro though.
No, it was visually stunning. It really was.
I remember this. Let me see if I can just find
it. Had the field and then had the ocean, and then it was just like a landscape. It was beautiful, but truly beautiful.
Title sequence. Oh, okay. I do remember now. I do remember it. It took me a second.
Yes. So they won.
But again, also kind of Game of Thronesy.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that 100%.
More original though than like, because I really think that The Last of Us is
very
yeah.
You're like copy paste.
Kinda just like change the buildings and the movement into fungus, and then we'll just call it good.
Yeah.
Throw some different titles or like names on there, and then
yeah. And Shogun was up against Fallout, which was on Prime Video. I never watched that show.
You didn't watch Fallout? I thought you did. It's good. You should watch it.
Okay, I will.
Has Walton Goggins in it.
Yeah, it has a really cool premise, like something different. I feel like so. I do want to get into it, so I'll try it. Lessons in Chemistry on Apple TV Plus, which was that mini series, which I did watch and cried. Oh,
I do want to watch it, and I want to read the book, so that's on the list.
Oh, you should. It's great. And then Palm Royale, which I also want to watch, the Apple TV Plus show with Kristen Wiig and everybody else. And Silo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember the intro to Silo either.
And the Netflix show Three Body Problem, which was also...
Yeah. I haven't watched that either. No, but my mutual on Twitter, Eric, who I've never met, but I actually might meet him this summer when Reese comes in town. We'll find out. He recommended that I watch it, and I did start it, but we were watching something else super intense at the time. I think it was during Severance, and I was like, I can't do this. Come on.
Yeah. One intense, crazy thing at a time. I back you. But yeah, that was basically it in the 2020s, which I think so far. So, I mean, there's some that I would have voted differently, but I'm not mad. I'm not gonna I feel like the White Lotus got injustice.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one that I'm the most upset about.
Yeah. But apart from that, everything else is all right. I can understand. But yeah, The Good Lord Bird, I don't even, whatever, it's fine.
So I guess the category is like opening title sequence.
It's outstanding Emmy Award for outstanding main title design.
Okay. Who do you think is going to be nominated this year? Because I did nominate Severance again.
Yeah, you did. Great question. Do you have the list of who we've nominated for like show wise, like TV shows there?
Some of them. It's
I
the
don't,
most
because I'm trying to
recent
think.
ones.
The main one, I don't think Paradise is going to be nominated for one. I'm trying to think of like
No.
the
Ooh,
TV shows on.
ooh, I was gonna say Deli Boys, but they don't really. They just have that title card. They don't have.
Yeah.
Same with the studio. The Pit didn't have an intro.
The studio
Hacks
doesn't
doesn't
have
have
an
an
intro?
intro. I mean, it has the little. It's like a small running credit kind of
Yeah.
thing. You know, it's
Gosh,
not.
yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
if that
it's
would
true.
qualify as.
No.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
shrinking. I don't. I like the intro for Shrinking. I like the song. I think it's cute, but I don't know if it
I
would
don't
get
think it'll be
nominated.
nominated.
Mm-mm.
No. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know. Dang, now that we're talking about it, I'm like, there actually hasn't been any impressive titles. Severance for sure.
Yeah, and because it was different too than the
Yeah.
previous season. I this
Oh.
is slight side note, halfway not related, but still related. Did you see? Apparently, the Oscars are going to require people to actually watch all the movies in the category before they vote, and I'm like, we hadn't been doing that before. If I was allowed to vote, and I would for a specific category, I would not feel right voting for something if I had not watched it.
Exactly. Exactly. And if I had something nominated that I created up for a vote, I would be up in arm. Like, how is that not? How are you putting my thing up for a vote, but nobody's watching it to even vote for it? Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah.
Like,
That's
what? It's like
there's
basic
just
101.
I think it just
Oh,
goes to show that it's all about money and favoritism. It's
yes.
we all know all that how all that stuff works.
Yes, 100%. I agree. Which actually, when I was thinking about the for your consideration this week, I was like, I would not be surprised if John Hamm got a best actor nom. He's very beloved in Hollywood. Very.
Okay, sure. Then give him an Emmy for his appearance on SNL then, if that's what you want to do. That's like
Yeah.
let's be serious for a second. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's have
Let's
some respect.
respect. Exactly. For the craft.
Jinx.
And I owe you about like 500 Cokes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I mean, you're probably right. Um sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope not. I hope they can prove us wrong for it to not be so, yeah, favoritism based or whatever
Which
the
I guess
case.
he would be the main actor and not.
Mm-hmm.
But if he gets a nomination for best actor and Tillman does not get one for supporting
Oh.
actor, I will burn
Oh.
something down.
I agree. Oh, I agree. Oh, that I can't even injustice. There's been so no. I could not even. We can't even no.
And I don't even know how to there's nothing to boycott because I mean I could boycott TV, but that's the only thing I have in life. So I
I
don't
know. I know. It's hurting me. It's not hurting them. So yeah, I get
exactly.
it.
But we could just
That's
rant
funny.
about it constantly
Yeah,
and lose
maybe.
lose the last five of our listeners.
We could come on here and hurl abuse at the Academy. I don't know. We could do something.
Yeah, that'll do a lot of good. We'll never be asked to be on it then.
I know. Yeah.
Or
And
they'll
that's
think that our opinions are so valid that they're like, these two.
they have integrity for the craft. They appreciate,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. But yeah, I don't even know how we got into John Hamm.
Because
That's
I don't know,
funny.
you thought that he might get nominated for the gold
Best,
Emmy.
yeah, I
Yeah.
hope he does not. But yeah, I don't know who else might be nominated for this category this year.
I'm gonna be honest too. I'll usually watch the intro once, like the first time, and then I'm like, nobody has
Yes.
time for this. Come on.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
Even
when I'm
Righteous
starting a new
Gems,
show.
Righteous
Yeah.
Gemstones intro is literally like 10 or 15 seconds long, and it's just like a chorus of praise noise and a uh, visual of a cross that's all lit up
Mm-hmm.
like a very gaudy light bulb
Mm-hmm.
look. Anyway, I skip that. It says skip
Very
intro, and I'm like,
gaudy.
skip it. That's what it is, though.
I'm gonna I'm going to mention, like, when I speak of the Christian faith, I'm gonna be like, you're very gaudy. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
very. Yeah, that is what it is. You're right.
The White House is
You're very
very
right.
gaudy right now, too. So
It is. But the one thing I did notice is that most of the shows that do get nominated are typically dramas. So I don't know if that's for a reason. Maybe they have more time to make something more crafty and not go into their runtime. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's interesting. Okay. This is gonna make me think in the future when I watch
Yeah.
intros now, be like, okay,
Yeah,
make a note
exactly.
of like who has one, who doesn't, and
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Hopefully maybe before the Emmys we can make a list of 5 that we think might be.
I mean, I think because we'll get pretty close to the nomination date, and so I think the closer we get, I'm going to look at the different categories that we're pulling from, and kind of if there's one that are lacking, do a little investigative work.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd like that to do that too. Well, that's all I got for this topic. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, but I just like pretty much every other episode with the topics. I'm like, I don't even know how we're gonna like what kind of information can we present on this. But I've learned a lot. Like this was great. This was very interesting.
It was. Honestly, TV is it's just so vast and cool, and I don't know. Yeah, there's so much to talk about, and it's insane that people think not watching TV is like a whole personality. It's like, it's fine.
The people that are like, I don't watch TV. I'm like, well, good for you. You're missing out on a lot of great stuff.
A lot. Like, I'm sorry that you're probably very boring.
Should I watch as much TV as I do? No. Do I? Yes. And I'm going to make it as beneficial as possible.
Exactly. I like that a lot. Okay. Well, you ready to talk about some press release stuff that's come out this past week?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You wanna go first?
Well, this was something you said you were going to bring up because I think exchanged messages about this. The Love Island Beyond the Villa. Yeah. Yep. Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
So they released a press release, and I actually saw. Do I want to reveal this? Yeah. So I follow like a community on Twitter, the Live Island community. I followed it, unfollowed it because there were some people were insane. Like, you know. Anyways, I refollowed it, and they were talking about this spinoff maybe like 2-3 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, okay. So they finally did release the show happening. They're doing a Love Island spinoff of the main people from the last season, the USA Love Island season from last year, season 6. So we're getting back Leah, Miguel, Serena, Cordell, Janae. Shoot, what's her man's name? Kenny. Kaylor, Liv, Aaron, and who was the person Leah was with in the I hate it. No, the one
guy
who was with
before him.
Janae. Yeah.
Oh,
and she did not like
what's
him.
his name? I know who you're talking about. What? I don't remember his name at all.
And honestly, I think they just included him because Rob said no. So Rob, I saw this thing. Yeah, they posted it in this in the whatever community. Rob was answering Q&As on Snapchat, and then they asked him, are you going to be on the Love Island spinoff? And he was like, no, I told them I didn't want to do it. So they did ask him, they did approach him, and he rejected them.
Does he think he's too good for that? Like, what is...
I don't think, okay, I'm glad, let's talk about it. I don't think he thinks he's too good for it. I think they would have used him in a way that was just gonna be weird. Like I don't know. Are you sad that he's not gonna be in it?
Well, obviously, I'm sad he's not going to be in it, but
Fair.
I agree with you because the show is production puts them in situations where they know it's going to
Hmm.
cause issues. And he
Hmm.
knew that if he went back there, it was just going to be a bunch of drama, a bunch of like probably less
Hmm.
fun the second time around. Or maybe he was fearful because he knew the kind of pressure he'd be under and decided not to do it.
Yeah, and yeah, with the whole Leah and now Leah's with Miguel, and they do seem very happy, way more than like I think they've grown to appreciate and love each other. That's great for them. Um, but yeah, I just don't. I feel like adding Rob would have just been really unnecessary. And Leah's fans are pretty crazy, so
Mhm.
I'm glad he stayed away.
So they're bringing those people back. Is it still going to be like they bring in people,
Mm-mm.
they
So it's
make out
literally
with
just like
them?
a no. It's
Oh, okay.
literally just a spinoff, a whole new reality TV show of like Beyond the Villa. Them, Kaylor, Liv, like, and also Kendall is
Oh, okay.
involved.
Okay.
Um, they've all like relocated to LA. Again, they've been like screenshots of Snapchat. So they're all in LA right now filming, and it's just them going to events, and it's kind of like The Hills or something. They're just following a group of friends.
Oh. I mean, I'll
Yeah,
still watch it, but
100%. Still gonna tune in, but I just don't think they should have capitalized on it in this way
yes, and I don't
or at all.
we get to see their lives on Instagram, and honestly,
Yes.
they're not that exciting, and so I'm trying to
No.
figure out what I'm going to be watching for.
So far, apparently it's the same drama as their season. Apparently there's Kaylor and Aaron drama, and Liv, Olivia Walker,
Mhm.
is also involved in it. Like, it's apparently just that. So
Okay.
we could do without that, you guys, you know?
Mhm.
And I think out of all of them, actually, Aaron has not been as, I don't even know he's got a social media,
He did, and he was on the UK Traders.
but he was on that before, right? Or was he at? It was
Uh,
before Love Out.
that I don't
Yeah.
know, but I think he does. He did have a social media at least last time I checked, but that was probably last summer.
Yeah. But
But
I feel like he's been the most quiet
mhm.
since last season. So I think I'm more excited to see what the hell he has to say for himself since he hasn't been clearing his name or living his life out. Here's for all of us to see. So we will be seeing him for the first time since we saw him at the reunion. But for the rest, as you said, we see him already. I don't know what there I don't know what more there is to say. And then I did hear that uh the only because I don't know if you remember the reunion, Leah was like, "This is the last time Pika's gonna like get my time." Kind of like I really thought they would not sign on for something like this with the way
Mhm.
Leah said she was badly edited and production did her wrong and all that stuff. But apparently they like fired every producer from that, or not fired, but all those producers from Love Island last season are not involved at all with the
In this
show.
project.
And she made sure to like she said she named names as to who she does not want around her, like on that set producing.
Okay.
So we will see the bad edit or not. I don't believe in bad edits. I really just don't believe in bad edits, but that's just me.
Well, yeah, I would you do that if you were on a reality TV show? Would do you think you would come back and sign on for something else related to it? I mean, I guess it's hard to answer if you've never been on a reality TV show.
Yeah, I think it's easy to do that because you've already done it.
Hmm.
You're probably an influencer, so it's like a good way to make money. I really
That's
do
how you
think
make
Peacock
money.
paid them a lot to come back. I really do.
They definitely had a foot to stand on for sure to,
Yeah.
have a little bit of negotiation.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I guess I would. I mean, that's your life.
I would love to think that I am smart and savvy and I could make sure because I do think part of it is knowing like, hey, cameras are watching me.
Yeah.
So let's act a little bit better than we want to portray ourselves. in
Yeah.
those situations. But then I also know me, and I probably would also look just like the dumbest, most outrageous person because I would forget a camera's there or stop
Exactly.
caring.
Exactly. Yeah, I think you could put up that, front for maybe 2-3 days of filming, but if they're filming you for like 6 weeks, which I believe is what they're doing, or 6 to 8 weeks that they're doing for them, by week 3, by week 4, the real you will start to come out.
I'm thinking though too, or I think I'm slowly learning as I just get older. People really do not have shame.
Oh no.
So
No.
these people probably, I think, don't have that level of concern about how they're coming
Yes.
across.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, yeah, I mean, even the way they did. Okay, the revisionist history that has taken place of how Leah acted in that villa really does my head in, like, way more than I would like to admit. Like, I really don't think, like, do people really forget how she even came at the Powerpuff Girl PPG within that vote? Like, she was also mean to them at some point. Does that make sense? Like, I just,
Mhm.
anyways, so for like talking about people being shameless, someone like Leah acted like that and still came out to amazing, like, I don't
A
know.
fan group, like she
Yeah,
has some fans.
exactly. And I think that just fuels the more, like, the shamelessness more, which I think is insane. But
You know what? If I had a group of people rooting me on for anything I did, of yeah, I would just do whatever I
right,
wanted. I would
right,
be I would be the worst person in the whole entire world. I need boundaries. I need at least some form, and it really has to come within myself, right? I
yeah, yeah.
can't I need to feel that. I need to feel like I will embarrass myself.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. But anyways, um we will be watching. Excited to see what come out with from it, but I don't think there's a purpose to it. I don't think there's going to be more revelation to these people that we had last summer. I don't think more love connections would be made because I don't think new people are coming in, maybe, but from what I've seen it's just been those same characters, like, interacting with each other. Characters, they're people, but yeah.
But they're characters.
They are. Yeah. Yeah. That's all I gotta say. Do you have anything to say about it? Are
Uh,
you excited for it?
I'm very curious, and I very much will watch it. I don't have very high expectations, and I don't know if I'll finish watching it. But
Mm.
look at me. Look, I've said a lot of stuff, and I've watched a lot of stuff that I said I wouldn't watch.
That's
So,
true. That's true, and it really may surprise us. It might be great.
and
And
when it comes out, it might be just what we need to put our brains into. Maybe we need a little break, or I don't know. We'll see where we are
yes,
when it
I
comes out.
agree. Yeah, I guess my only thing is, like, when will they? Because Love Island is coming out. When will they bring that out? Because they said this summer.
Yeah, I saw
So
that too. So hopefully, maybe before to kind of, I don't know. If you do it before and it's not good,
exactly, yeah. And then I don't want them to do it at the same time because I don't want it to
mm-mm.
take away from Love. Exactly. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But the gang's getting back together.
All right. I mean, not bad. It's not bad news.
No, it's not. We'll take Love Island news any day.
Well, I have some bad news for you.
Uh oh.
I have news of a new show coming out that has two things. One, at least each of us, one part of it, at least I'm not a fan of, and another part that you definitely aren't a fan of. And I think both of us are not fans of either.
Okay. Hit
This is
me.
from Variety. The title says Jimmy Fallon will lead a cutthroat marketing agency and a new competition series called On Brand. And I hate everything about this. My
I
part's the
agree.
Jimmy Fallon part. You hate capitalism. I'm also not a fan of capitalism, but I don't think I hate it as much as you do. And I don't think you hate Jimmy Fallon as much as I do. But I think we
So it all
both,
balances out.
yes.
Yes.
But
Okay.
I'm gonna read you a little bit from the article on Variety about what it's about and
Okay.
his quotes from there. Um,
Okay.
maybe I didn't include his quotes because I was like, I didn't care. It says Jimmy Fallon will create a marketing agency and fill it with creative and clever executives and a new NBC competition series titled On Brand. In each episode, the On Brand agency creatives will work with major companies such as Dunkin', Captain Morgan, Pillsbury, and Samsung, who are searching for the best ideas for a massive brand campaign. The contestants will write jingles, build activations, and produce commercials while gaining unprecedented access to the business. At the end of the season, one contestant will be named the best in the business and will receive a cash prize.
I hate it.
Here's the thing. I find advertisement very fascinating. And I
Agreed.
think when I see good advertising, I really pause and I'm like, that's amazing. Because I've had to work on branding and advertising and stuff like that. And it's such an interesting thing to wrap your head around. And like, it's very creative. It is.
Yes, agreed.
We don't need a TV show about it. And Jimmy Fallon does not need to be hosting it.
I feel like Jimmy Fallon will not leave our TV screens unless there's like a scandal around him. I fear. Like, he refuses to quit, and he will continue to refuse to quit. Yeah.
I'm just saying this just because it popped in my head, and there's nothing to back it. I've never said anything like this before, but I'm just going to say it. Okay.
Okay.
My goal now in life, not really, but maybe, is to replace him as a late night host and just push him out of the way.
Like you yourself.
Yes.
Oh, let's get on it. I am there with you. I will help. Let's get on it.
Look,
I
and see,
agree.
I will take a small $100K a year as my starting salary. All right. I need health
Already
benefits. I need a little bit of money for moving to New York, unless you want to open up a studio here in Tennessee. And I think we can go from there.
I agree. I think my only thing is Jimmy is such a sellout. This is so terrible. Our podcast is going to be doxxed. Like, it's going to be. But you know what? We're here. Let's stick with it. We're talking about shameless people. He's so shameless. I just, like, he will do anything to keep what he has.
Sure. If I can take over, if I can push him out of late night, that's at least an hour less that he's on TV.
I agree.
And
I just don't know.
Makes him a little bit more less relevant.
Yeah. I just don't like Ellen, how she got put. I don't think Ellen was leaving on her own accord. If it wasn't for the scandals, I don't think exactly. And that's the same with Jimmy. I don't think he's going to leave on his own accord. I think we've got to, maybe that's how you've got to remain innocent. You cannot be plausible, deniable, all of that. So let me work on it. I can't say too much. Okay. Can't incriminate you. So, but I think the first step is to get him incriminate. Like, yeah, we've got to
get people to spill their secrets.
I've got to just start an insane rumor on him.
One that's probably actually true or close enough to the truth where people are like, ooh, actually, yeah, I had this experience. And
exactly.
I actually do kind of know one story about him, but
text me it.
Okay.
Don't incriminate yourself.
It's actually really not that bad, and I actually have heard multiple similar stories from the universe. But yeah, I'll tell you another time. Okay. What was I going to say? We're talking about branding, Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, his show.
What I was going to say is because we're going to start doing our hacks recap. And so I was looking at the different writers, and Jen Startke, she is one of the writers. She was a writer on Jimmy Fallon from 2011 to 2013. And when I wrote it down, I was like, still within his good years. Like, I think by like 2015 is about when I was like, too much.
Over him, yeah.
Because it had been about 10 years. Like, of late night.
Yeah, I agree. That's funny. Did she ever work with Mindy, Jen?
Not that I remember off the top of my head, but that doesn't mean
Okay.
that she didn't.
Okay.
But
Maybe that's
I
just
didn't write
different
that
person.
down. So
Okay. No, it's okay. I can look that up before we do our thing for that.
I'm sorry to bring you such bad news.
Oh, about this Jimmy Fallon show. Listen, yeah, it's gonna keep me up at night.
Who approved this? Like we did not need this.
We didn't, and we didn't. There's been a couple of things getting greenlit in the TV world where I just think is so. Why are we putting our money into? There's so many newer ideas, better ideas of TV shows, even reality TV shows that we could be putting. Why are we making? And this was a press release I had. They announced that they're going to do a Clueless TV show.
They already did
and
one.
Then
Paul Rudd was
Great
in it.
point.
It had what's her face? Not Alicia Silverstone, but I don't know. She was another blonde chick that looked very similar to her.
I think I know who you're talking about.
She wasn't very well known, but and it had Amber's, the actress, was on there, and so is Dion.
Was this in the 90s?
Early 2000s. I'll look it up really quick. I've watched it. Anyway, so okay, continue. Tell me about the.
So yeah, they announced that. We know that they announced. Well, we haven't talked about it on this podcast, but hopefully people have seen this. They announced last year, I believe, or maybe earlier this year, that they were doing a Legally Blonde TV show. And I just think we need to stop making movies. And then we talked about Harry Potter last week or the week before. We need to stop making movies into TV shows when there is just so much. Like, I know of so many creators out there looking for funding for their ideas, new ideas, original ideas. And it's just dumb that they're going to IPs that already exist and that are classics and should remain that way. Like, it's just not needed. It's really not needed.
And it's giving to it. It reflects kind of to the rest of this, the state of the rest of business. Let's just say that, where entities that already have a lot of money are getting more money.
Yes. Yeah.
And nobody's asking for it. Nobody is asking for it. People want the OA to come back before we get a Harry Potter show.
Yes, exactly.
A Clueless. Like,
oh my gosh, let's talk about like TV shows that have been canceled that need to come back if we're gonna revive or whatever IP that's already existed. Like, stop canceling the good TV shows that we all enjoyed and using that money to now make something that we really, as you said, we did not ask for at all. At all. It sucks. Because I'm going to probably still watch it, but it sucks because I'm forced to watch it. It annoys me.
We are forced to watch it. We will watch it, but we will keep voicing our opinion that this is not where the money needs to be going. It needs to be we need to be uplifting, which I do think the smaller shows that do get promoted and, that get picked up and invested in, they do bring in a lot of unknown writers, unknown actors and directors, and that is great. I think we're seeing more and more of that because we're not necessarily getting new shows with writers from shows that we already love, like Mindy Kaling, right? We got the Mindy Project because she had worked on The Office for so long, but now we're getting all these writers who've only wrote one or two other episodes of some random shows, and now they're a big writer. Yeah, but so much more money is going to the stuff that is probably going to flop.
Yeah, agreed. And it really will flop. I give it 2 seasons at best. I just do. And then they cast
Clueless.
People. Yeah, the Clueless. I just don't. It's a great movie. I just don't see it. Yeah, I don't know. It's whatever. And that one, I think, is also Prime Video. I think Legally Blonde is Prime Video. And Clueless
I think so.
is also Prime Video. Yeah.
Dang Jeff Bezos and all of his space money and TV money.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead about what you were going to say about him. Because I was going to say something about him that was not nice.
So. Well, just say it, and then I'll say what I was going to say.
Okay. Did you see that interview floating around Twitter where they came from space and it was William Shatner, and William Shatner was trying to like have an enlightened conversation with
Mm-hmm.
anyways, what were you gonna say?
That I think it goes to show that just because you have a bunch of money doesn't mean you can buy taste.
True. Hella true.
Because
Agreed.
Amazon Prime, I mean, you had The Marvelous Miss Maisel. That was amazing. They had one other show that was really good. But other than that, everything's been
Not great.
it's
Yeah.
fine. I mean,
Yeah.
I know Reacher's really popular.
Yeah.
I've never really watched it, but I don't think it's like that great of a show.
It's not.
So
The audience it caters to proves that it's not. Yeah. No, that's all I will say. But yeah, it's not. And honestly, when Prime Video first came out, I feel like it looked like it would be like the Apple TV Plus of the streaming service world. As in like new ideas, putting money into a lot of it,
yes,
kind of
yeah.
situation. And they still do have, but it's not, I don't know, it's just not great.
They've dropped the ball. I don't know, they've definitely have not met my expectations.
I agree. I truly agree.
But what can we expect from a man who builds a rocket that looks like a penis?
He's insane. Okay. Do you have any other press release info that you saw?
This Saturday, April 26th, is when Brett Goldstein's stand-up special comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And on Tuesday, April 29th, there is this TLC show that is premiering. So it's a series premiere of a TV show called Polyfamily.
Oh, wow.
And it is about not a polygamous family, but a family. I think it's two couples, a man and a wife and another man and a wife, but then one wife is the other husband's girlfriend and vice versa.
Okay. So they're polys, but they're swingers.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess the family is poly, but they're poly with each other.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's not one man with multiple wives. It's a man with one wife and girlfriend, but it's yeah. So I don't think I'll be watching it, but I wanted to let you know about it and to let our listeners know about it. So
why did I think you were gonna watch it?
I don't need to watch it. I in all honesty, I know people who are in those kinds of relationships. I know how it works. I've seen it play out in front of my eyes. It's I like the idea that it's on TV because I think it is something that's becoming more common in society. And we've talked about representation. And so I think that aspect of it is great.
Right.
I don't love that it's on TLC. It makes it feel a little like we wouldn't make a TV show about a gay couple.
Yeah, a little cheap, a little.
Yeah, it's circusy, like
a zoo. Yeah.
I think when TLC did the show Little People Big World, that actually was very interesting because not a lot of people necessarily meet little people, and understanding how they navigate their life when they have normal sized children. That is interesting.
Yeah.
And even I think Sister Wives, that is a different lifestyle that is more religious based. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Understandable. But this feels a little icky to me. Not because of what they're doing. I want to make sure that's very clear because I know I've expressed some other feelings. But it's because it shouldn't be this thing where we're like, ooh, let's look into their crazy life.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know, living their life.
Doing the things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. If I've got time, I'll check it out. I'll check one episode out, but that's probably all I have in me. Okay. Yeah, I shall.
And that's all I got for what's coming up, at least, soon.
Okay. Nice. I had two more things. It was announced, the host of the Emmys this year has been announced. Did you see that?
Yes.
Nate, I don't know how to say his last name.
Bargatze.
Okay, cool. Have you seen any of his stand-up specials?
Yeah, I actually saw him live
Ah,
last year before that, and he has a podcast called Nateland, and another one of the comedians that's on there, Dusty Slay. I also saw him live, so I kind of keep up with
okay.
that group a little bit.
Okay.
There, have you seen any stand up? Do you know anything about him?
I have not, and I was gonna check it out just to gauge.
It is very funny. I think you'll
Mhm,
find the humor funny. He's very self-deprecating because he
mhm,
didn't graduate. He didn't go to college.
mhm.
He is obviously very funny. So he has this part of his brain. He is smart. He cannot read, and that is not necessarily a joke because he will read on the podcast, but he really can't. Like he really struggles with it, and it's
Does he
very
know he can't read?
yes, because he was on
Okay.
SNL twice, and he told them he's like, I can't, I won't be able to read these cue cards, to be able to
Oh,
deliver these lines. So they had to like make sure that it was where he would be able to
yeah.
do
Read.
it easily. Yeah,
That's okay. That's an interesting. Does he explain why he can't read? We're gonna go
I
into a
I
whole
think
Nate
it.
thing.
I don't know if he's really. I think he's kind of just realizing that, like, oh, I'm an adult who really struggles with this, and so I think
Mm.
he's talked about he's going to get like a tutor to help him because he probably has some kind
Oh,
of learning disability,
yeah. That
something.
sounds about right. Yeah. Dang.
But yeah, I think he's very funny. I think it's a pretty good pick. He's a clean comic, and he is not a punch down comic. So
Okay.
I'll be curious to see what kind of jokes he makes about the audience.
Yeah. Okay. He looks like a punch down comic, so that has actually taken me by surprise.
The only people he is ever punching down is himself.
Oh shit.
Or maybe, like sometimes when he's in he'll tell jokes about situations that he's been in, whether they're real or
Mhm.
not, but he doesn't necessarily make fun of the people around him, but kind of expresses how absurd the situation was. But he
Okay.
still is the one that's being made fun of because he's like, I was
Yeah.
still a stupid person.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like I like him. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's definitely grown. He's become a really big comedian over the past couple years.
Yeah, I have seen his name pop up more and more and more. So when I saw that he got picked to host, I was like, "Oh, okay, let's go.
Yeah,
Let's see how this goes."
you should at least maybe go on YouTube and watch like a couple. Not maybe a whole special, just but some of his funnier segments to
Yes,
see if you're laughing at them. Or
absolutely.
I'll go on and see if I can find some of like my favorite ones, and I'll send them to you.
Okay, okay, yeah. But yeah, so we got an Emmy host uh announcement, which I think is cool, and I feel like the what's called months are really moving along, and the nomination month is going to be here, or day will be here, but before we know it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited. And then I guess the last two, I don't know. Okay, so Clean Slate, which we talked about, or I talked about, it's the Prime Video show about a trans woman, and it has, gosh, I forgot her name, but
I
anyways,
know we just talked about her a
yes,
couple episodes ago.
I'm so good, yes, but the show got canceled.
Laverne Cox.
Yes, yes. The show got Laverne Cox. Love her. I actually met her when I went to school at DePaul. She was fabulous.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, I really did.
Did you like, but just like passing in the street
No,
or
she came and like spoke for something. I can't even remember
okay?
what. And then I stayed behind and we talked about like she loves Beyonce, so we talked about
Love
stuff.
that.
Yeah. So that got canceled, and then also Papa's House got canceled, which was
Oh
on CBS
darn.
with the Wayans brothers. Yeah. And the shows weren't great. I will give it that. But there are also media, and they're black shows, so that is very upsetting. That black shows keep getting canceled and they're less and less on TV. And I keep going back and forth on how like disappointed I am, because there are some shows with like a white cast that aren't so good and still get renewed. But I also don't want, I don't know. I guess equality. I guess. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Which I don't know if well
I don't
the
know. That's yeah.
the Wayne's brother like that's a name that's very well established,
Mm-hmm.
but it could still be where networks, because of the lack of equity, are just not investing in those types of shows that
Yeah.
either center around that or center around a trans character. I don't, there's a lot
Yeah.
of that part of the equity probably definitely is playing a role in it.
Yeah. Um, and I'm all for, like, if a show's not good, cancel it, whatever. But let's just be fair across the board.
And give maybe more, yeah, because they're overly too fair to, like you're saying, some of these shows.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Like, wait, yeah. But yeah, that was disappointing to read. And then the last thing I wanted to mention, which I thought was pretty cool, and I wanted to get your opinion on it. So there's a show on Apple TV Plus called Mythic Quest.
mm-hmm.
I feel like you've heard of it. Have you ever
I have,
watched
but I
it?
have no, I have not watched it. But I've
Okay.
heard it's good.
It is. I was really into like the first 2 seasons. And then I just didn't watch season 3, and season 4 just came out. But it got canceled
Mm-hmm.
recently. And when they announced it got canceled, they gave the creators, which is one of the guys, who's the guy from Sunny?
Rob
Anyways,
McElhenney.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. He created the show, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
Mythos Quest, and he's one of the main characters. So they gave him the chance to redo the last episode of the last season that came out, season 4, to round it out for like as a more series finale for the fans. And that came out, like the redoing of season 4 as a series finale came out this past week. And I thought that was pretty cool. But I don't know if it was cheating the system. But I thought, like, for the fans, for the audience who stuck around for all 4 seasons, to get an ending that was, more, I don't know, was nicer for the characters involved and stuff. Was nice for Apple TV Plus to like give them the money to do. But yeah, I wanted to know your thoughts.
Well, okay, so they redid the last episode, or did they do an additional episode to kind of close out the series?
They redid it. So they filmed another episode, just redoing the last episode.
So did they get rid of the other last episode?
I have not checked, but I literally got a notification from Apple TV, like my devices being like, the new series finale episode or reshot, whatever, is now out for Mythic Quest.
Either way, I was just a little confused. That's why I was just asking. Either way, I think that's really neat, and I think that it's a testament to at least Apple's
Mm-hmm.
obvious to their business statement, their goal, I guess. I can't even try to think of the word that they're trying to. What am I trying to say? You know what I'm trying to say. I can't get it out.
I know what you're trying to say. It's all right.
It's a testament to where they're putting their money, and it's into the creators and into these TV shows. And I love that.
I do too. Like,
who cares if it's cheating the system? It's not cheating the system if you decide to do it, because just because people haven't decided to do it, that's their problem.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, and like as you said, it's awesome that they've decided, like they really do. They really do respect like the TV craft, because they do shell out all this money just for the hell of it, just because they think we deserve good TV, and I think that's fucking awesome.
They know it's going to pay off in the long run too, so they're hedging their bets. And again, we talked about it; they're not losing money on the bottom line.
They're not. They are swimming in it, if anything. So yeah,
which is kind of like in the studio. We really should talk about the studio a little bit more, because it doesn't have to be right now, but just the way that it's so meta of itself and a critique on the industry. It's wild. And the fact that it's on an Apple TV show as well is even funnier, because it's always about money. It's always about how they don't have money. And
yes, I love that too. Yeah, they couldn't like. I just saw Seth Rogen do an interview on Zane Lowe about the studio, and I need to listen to it. But he talks about pitching it, and I want to know if Apple TV was the first person he went to. I feel like it was, though. But anyways, that's beyond the point. I'll let you guys know when I listen to it.
Yeah.
The last one, and this news just came out today. which I think is fucking amazing because The Bear is ending with the season 4 coming out. I don't know if it's this year or next year, but Io has been cast
Mm-hmm.
in another TV show that is coming. Well, the release date has not come out. It was just announced that she has been cast as one of the 2 main leads on this TV show. I did not write what it was called. Do you have it?
I was just looking it back up because I didn't. Prodigies.
Yes.
And the guy, though, that's in it, I wanted to look. He was in a show.
And he's going to be in Lena Dunham's new show that we've
Mm-hmm.
talked about coming out.
He was in. Oh, yeah, he was that guy in White Lotus.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And he. Oh, I don't see it on here.
He's fairly new.
Yeah. I feel like he was in something, though, that it wasn't him that I didn't like. It was a TV show. And so I have a bad taste in my mouth about it, but I can't find it. Anyway, I am really excited about that, though.
I am too. And yeah, I'm excited that fans of Io, as we all are, get to continue to have her on our TV screens. And I sincerely hope it just happens for the rest of our lives, that when one ends, she's on another and we just get to see her forever.
I hope so, too. Yeah, she doesn't need to go anywhere. She needs to keep gracing us with her presence.
Exactly. And she also has a executive producing credit for this show.
Oh, lovely. Love that too.
Yeah.
I always struggle with that, though, because I know that the executive title or executive producer title can sometimes mean nothing. It is just like but then it also sometimes really does mean something. And
yeah,
I wish there's like a little asterisk that was like,
no, this really means something.
Little quotes. Executive producer.
I agree. But yeah, that's all I got from my side.
I think we had some good and bad news, but some really good TV news come out this week.
We did. I think the good ones, I don't know, that bad one was pretty bad. But
yeah. Or,
that's all right. We'll deal with
bad
him.
Ones.
Yeah. That's it. That's all we got for this week.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Are you watching this? Are you watching this?